Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I definitely have an unexpected video for you guys because I have a camera unboxing, and if you follow my TikTok or you keep up with my socials, you would have seen that about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I bought a new vlog camera. I just posted my first video using the camera that I'm filming right now, which is the Sony ZV-1. This is the vlog camera that I bought only about a week ago, and I feel like I didn't really fully explain in my last video the situation, why I had to buy a new vlog camera, and why I have a brand new one in my hands right now so soon. But don't worry, I'll give a little explanation. But basically, since 2020, I have been using my tried and true Canon G7X Mark II. This is my old vlog camera, very standard, very basic vlog camera that I feel like a lot of YouTubers use. I love this camera, but on my way to a Bumble event about a month ago now, I accidentally got it wet because I was carrying a lot of bags with me running this event, and I just got frazzled, my water bottle spilled, and this did get a little bit wet. Definitely not submerged or anything, but unfortunately the effects are pretty bad. It will turn on, but the screen is black, and then I take a picture, it doesn't show up. I try to record, it doesn't show up. I took it in to Best Buy, and they said that my best bet would have been to send it back to Canon, see what they could do, but it would likely be a pricey fix, and that they would be concerned that the water would erode other parts of the camera over time anyway. So they suggested maybe just investing in a new camera, given that it is a 4-year-old camera already. So I accepted my fate. I knew I would have to buy a new one, but I was really hoping that I would just be able to repurchase a Canon G7X because I love that camera. There was nothing wrong with it. I wasn't ready to really change over to anything else because I did really love that camera. But unfortunately, for even months at this point, Canon G7X have been sold out everywhere, online, in store, they're on back order, everything. So I went on every single website that I could and I put notify me when they're back in stock. I hadn't heard anything yet, and my time at college is coming to an end. I literally graduate next Friday, which is crazy, but I knew that I really wanted to have a vlog camera on me and accessible to me to make content while I'm still in school. So I bit the bullet and I got the Sony ZV-1. I figured it might be an upgrade. I have really liked the quality of the camera so far when I use it, but there are a few things that I noticed. Just one thing that has been really hard for me to get used to is the viewfinder being on the side. I'm really like training myself to just look straight at the lens, which I feel like I didn't have to do so much with the Canon G7X because the viewfinder is on the top and it looks like I'm just still looking at the lens maybe a little bit higher. So that is honestly a big thing for me. Like, I really liked that feature. And then also I noticed when I was vlogging my last video on this camera that it was very shaky when I didn't have it on my tripod. It's on a tripod right now, but when I was just vlogging, like, it was very, very shaky. So I don't know if there's like a stabilizing feature that I could maybe turn on and it would be a quick fix, but even that, there's just so much about Sony that I am unfamiliar with. Not that I don't think that I could take the challenge and learn and teach myself, but really that I wasn't as excited about the Sony camera as I was about a Canon camera. But I got an email from Target saying that they had the Canon G7X Mark III back in stock, which is slightly different to the camera that I had before because this is the Mark II. And although it's a newer version of the camera, I have heard a few things here and there that maybe the quality isn't the same or it's not as good of a camera. But I also have heard things on the flip side as well, that it actually is better for video. There are some features that have changed that are improvements and not necessarily drawbacks. So when I got that email, I immediately checked out. And a week later, I got this at my apartment, and I've just been holding on to it. I have been kind of putting it on the back burner to decide, because now I have 3 cameras in my possession, 2 working, 1 unfortunately broken. But This is the Canon G7X Mark III. I am very excited to open it up and show you guys because then I will have a decision to make between the Sony that I'm using and the Canon Mark III. But I thought it would be a good opportunity to unbox this for you guys and talk about the cameras a little bit, just because I did make a vlog last week where I talked about me having this new camera, the Sony that I'm using. So I feel like if I didn't make this video, then it would have been kind of awkward if I just used a Canon moving forward, which I'm not sure if that's my decision yet, but I think we're gonna know after this video. So let's just hop right in and unbox the Canon G7X Mark III. When we open it up, this is what it looks like inside. There's just some packaging on top that we need to open up. We have some safety instructions. We have the user manual, which I have read through before and I know pretty well how to use the camera, but I will probably have to give it a once over since it technically is different to the one that I was using before. But then inside here we have the contents. We have the camera right here, the battery and charger back here, and just some little accessories that I'll show you guys real quick. First, there is a little camera strap. This is really nice. This is something that the Sony did not come with, so I was actually very excited to see this because I had this on my old Canon G7X, which is just a little wrist strap. I feel like it is really good just for some extra added security. Then we have the charger and the battery pack. The nice thing for me, at least in terms of whether or not I should keep the Canon or the Sony, is that I did obviously have a Canon before, so I have the same battery packs that are compatible with this camera, and now I have a backup charger, which I also have one from my old camera as well. So a pro of keeping this camera would definitely be that I don't have to buy any like new charging equipment or accessories for the Canon, as opposed to a whole nother brand of using a Sony camera. I would have to buy new battery packs, new chargers, new everything like that. So that is definitely something I'm keeping in mind. But aside from everything else, the last thing in the box is the camera itself. So let's just take it out. Here it is. She is beautiful. She definitely feels just like a fit in my hand. I don't know if I'm like trained to hold this, but in terms of the visuals of the camera, there aren't too many drastic changes. They did move the location of where it says G7X, which is not a big change at all, but that is really the only thing that I see. In terms of the back of the camera, again, not huge differences. I think there is just one new button on the new one that isn't on the old one. Other than that, I think it's just little aesthetic changes here and there. On the top of the camera, there aren't many differences as well, just some different locations of text, and then the bottom looks pretty much identical as well. So there are not a lot of differences between these two cameras that I'm noticing, but the Mark III definitely does feel cleaner, it feels newer. There's just something about it that feels like an improvement right off the bat. So let's turn it on, set it up, and try it out. The first screen that comes up is just to set a date and time zone and everything, so I'm just gonna do that really quick. And then here we go, the camera is on. The quality is pretty similar to what I remember of the Canon G7X Mark II. It does seem to be a little bit more stabilized than the Sony. There are also some color features, I think, that I can see on the screen. There is like preset options of what you want the image to look like, especially when you're shooting pictures. Overall, the image quality looks really nice. I've just taken a few little pictures around my room and the quality is really good. You can see this picture of my bed. So I just set up the camera recording on the Canon G7X and I still have this video recording on the Sony. So I'm just looking at them side by side, seeing what the comparison looks like. And overall, I think from what I can tell, I do like the look of the G7X better. I do see that the Sony maybe is a little bit more like realistic, very like raw image, but on the G7X, I don't know if there's a setting on or anything, but the look on the G7X I personally like more. It looks very light and bright and like already pre-edited. That's just a personal preference of mine, but it is really helpful to see the comparison side to side, and I do think that I just lean more Canon. I have always been a Canon camera girly, and I was literally heartbroken when this one broke. So I feel like maybe it's just a preference that I'm used to, or that I'm used to the image quality or things like that, but I just feel myself leaning more Canon. But feel free to leave me some opinions and your thoughts about these two cameras or one or the other in the comments. I would love to hear them. But just coming back over to this camera so I can wrap up the video, I just want to say that I really do love this camera. I just was more excited about opening this one as opposed to the Sony. Not that there was anything really wrong with the camera, but I just was really bummed that I couldn't get my hands on another one of these, and now that I have, I just feel like the excitement level is there, and when you're gonna spend this much money on a piece of equipment, then you should really love it. So I personally feel like I am just gonna go back to the G7X. It's what I know, it's what I love. So I think that I will be returning the Sony ZV-1. I hope that I don't break anyone's heart by saying that, but I did want to kind of make a little video about this just because I kind of did jump on here and be like, I have a new camera, and now I'm doing the same thing again. So just wanted to give all of that little background information about what I've kind of been dealing with my camera situation recently. And now that I have kind of settled on one, I can vlog my graduation party, and kind of get back on track with normal content now that I have gotten this little challenge out of the way the last month or so, kind of not having a camera and now having too many camera options. That is going to be all for this video. Like I said, leave a comment down below if you have an opinion about the Sony, an opinion about the Canon G7X Mark III, just opinions on like vlog cameras in general. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you think I made the right choice. It's okay if you don't, but I'm very excited to go back to the Canon, start using this Mark III, see what it's all about, and just bring you guys more content, because essentially that is what I'm doing this for. So if you like this video, make sure to do so and subscribe down below so that you don't miss the next one.